then went to Berkeley and double majored in business and botany.
This is the best cannabis in the world.
I think we just struck gold.
He takes 99% of the violence out of the business. The other 1%? Well, that's where Chon comes in.
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. We're talking about Oliver Stone's latest, Savages, which has actually been pushed up on the calendar. They're moving it to the summer now. It's now a crowd-pleasing summer feel-good movie about drug money.
I know.
I'm Christy, this is Alonso, somewhere over here. Hello. And you're going to describe it to us.
Yes.
Savages.
Okay, so based on a novel that I have not read, but I hear is really great. This is about two drug dealers who are not your usual kind. One of them is a botanist and business major, and the other one is a veteran of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, and they grow primo weed that has tons of THC in it. And they both are in love with a girl named O, who lives with them and is very happily the third leg of the triangle. The Mexican drug cartels try to move in on their business. They aren't particularly fond of the idea, and so the Mexicans kidnap O, and then it's on.
It is your methods we want to partner with. We're not going to join you. Nothing personal.
I'm afraid our client would take this very personally.
They must be taught respect. I found their weakness.
This feels like a very different kind of Oliver Stone movie to me in a lot of ways.
How so?
It is a lot more fun, and although there's clearly a message in it, it doesn't feel like it's quite hammering us over the head the way some of his films do. I mean, it's clearly a very, very pro-drug message. Very, very pro-pot message.
Anti-war on drugs message, for sure.
Yes,
Definitely.
Because these guys function independently, and they're doing fine. They're making a lot of money, and everyone's happy. And it's only when there's an attempt to control this that there is bloodshed and heartache and all that.
The thing is, I didn't buy any of these people.
No?
No, I didn't buy, you know, while there were some interesting performances, but like Aaron Johnson, I didn't buy the whole, you know, he's a brilliant scientist, but he's also this like super philanthropist. And then you've got Taylor Kitsch as the sort of, you know, hard-bitten, you know, veteran with secrets. And I mean, I could conceivably believe these guys would exist, but I didn't believe them in this movie. The way they're presented, they just felt like these sort of weird archetypes. O didn't really ring true to me either. She felt very much kind of like this sort of screenwriter's contrivance. So for me, it didn't really pick up until she gets kidnapped, and suddenly it becomes a we're going to get them, we're going to get them, they're going to get them. You know, like it's this sort of escalating battle of the two guys versus the drug cartel. That gets kind of fun in a pulpy, trashy way. But the whole setup is just so like, I didn't buy any of it, you know, and it's shot in that, you know, that sort of dappled suntan commercial Southern California way, so that later Oliver Stone gets to change up the cinematography the way he loves to do in a movie, and suddenly it's in black and white, and now it's grainy, and now it's this, and the sun flares, and you know.
He refrains from that comparatively here, I would say. Well, it's not quite an assault on the senses.
Less than, say, Natural Born Killers, but plenty nonetheless. So
is it that you felt like these people could exist, but they wouldn't exist in this scenario? Is it that you don't buy them as these major drug dealers?
No, it's just that I just like on paper, if you describe them to me, I'd be like, okay, I would maybe want to see a movie about those people. But now that I'm seeing that movie about those people, this movie about those people, they didn't ring true. They weren't written in such a way, and people love this novel. So apparently they do come alive on the page, and they do feel like they're an actual thing. But just judging by the movie, which is all I've got to go on, it all felt fakey to me.
Yeah, I've not read the book either, but given that I think he's going for a noir kind of vibe here.
Sure.
Like a modern, lurid, sexy, pulpy noir vibe with some a sunny California touch to it. I'm okay with the idea that they are maybe not the most realistic characters. Maybe they're a little more melodramatic, maybe they're a little more embellished, a little more idiosyncratic, whatever. I'm okay with that because I think it's all part of the piece. I mean, that worked for me. And I liked it being like a sexy, sunshiny film noir. And it's a great supporting cast.
Yes, definitely.
I love Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek is
so great in this.
She, I was thinking how much more fun she would have been in either of those stupid Snow White movies.
Oh, as the queen?
As the queen, because oh my God, this is how you chew scenery, actresses. If you're gonna do it up, put on the Dragon Lady wig, and just go to town, you know. I had a great time watching her.
The impeccable wardrobe, and she is over the top, but then when she dials it down, it's also very scary.
You see her human side, you know, Travolta with his his own hairline. That was exciting.
That was unrecognizable.
I know,
Where is this guy?
shocking.
Oh, it's John Travolta with his hair.
Yeah, but he's actually pretty interesting. You know, Benicio del Toro, a little, you know, cartoony, but he's always, you know, fun to watch. I want to throw this out because I'm not sure how I feel about it. Do you think this movie is racist?
In terms of the fact that everyone who's Mexican is a drug dealer?
That and in terms of the fact that we're basically supposed to be, we're rooting for the good, you know,
white,
enlightened white American drug dealers and rooting against the bad, you know, murderous, you know, Mexican drug dealers. And the film does try to present, the title is supposed to apply to both sides. But come on, we know that the sympathies are with the white folks. I'm not saying that it is or isn't. I haven't decided, but I'm just wondering what you think.
That's a really interesting point. I like that you bring that up because what transpires forces both sides to turn into savages, hence the title.
I suppose so.
If we weren't clear about that, there's a lot of Blake Lively
say it a lot.
voiceover.
Oh
right.
God, that's the other thing that drove me nuts, the Blake Lively narration.
Right.
I mean, narration generally I think is kind of a crutch unless you do it really well, and it felt sort of desperately trying to tie this whole thing together. And then to have Blake Lively do it is just not helping things.
No, but again, I feel like that's part of the aesthetic choice.
The noir thing.
Yeah, I think it bugged me too. And some of the things that she says just totally clang. There's some line about how they had orgasms. No, I had orgasms.
He has wargasms.
I cringed when I heard that, but then I'm like, okay, this is meant to be a very stylized kind of language, and that's part of the deal. And so
yeah, but there's also that scene. There's that scene later where Taylor Kitsch says, grow up, man. You don't change the world. It changes you.
Again, there's supposed to be kind of muscular swagger.
I guess. And I'll tell you, there is more man-ass in this movie almost than Magic Mike.
There's a lot of sex.
And Blake Lively is always more dressed during sex than either Taylor Kitsch or Aaron Johnson.
Yeah, there is a very, very implied but very, very sexy three-way scene between Taylor Kitsch and Aaron Johnson.
And it's not gay if it's a three-way.
Can I mention Aaron Johnson really fast? I think he's really good in this. It's amazing to see the kind of versatility we have seen from him in just a few years, between him playing young John Lennon, between him in Kick-Ass, and now this. I mean, unrecognizable, I would say, buffed up with the hair. Like he's a grown-ass man playing somebody, you know, conflicted and kind of dangerous. Anyway, I don't think I've answered your racism question yet. I don't know that I think it is. And I want to ponder that more now that you've suggested it.
I'm not sure either, because I don't know if you know, how do you tell this story where it really is going to be about Americans and Mexicans, because that would indeed be a conflict in it, telling a drug story. Does that automatically make her? I don't know. I don't have an answer here. I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but it's something that popped into my head as a possibility.
They're two sides of a coin. I mean, they're all criminals, and they all do illegal things, and they all do dangerous, bloody things.
Yeah, they are all capable of monstrosity.
Right.
You know?
And John Travolta is playing both sides. I mean, he's a white American guy, but he's duplicitous, and he's as much of a savage, and he's functioning on instinct and survival like they are. So, but I like your point. Let's do numbers, please.
You know, didn't love it, but you know, Oliver Stone is never boring, and there's some interesting ideas, and Salma Hayek's a lot of fun. So 6.1.
I'll give it a 7. I had more fun than you did. There are no reviews out of this thing yet that we have seen.
Well, I went to the premiere, which has been the only screening. I mean, the all media is the night before this thing opened.
Yeah,
so
I saw it a little while ago, but reviews are still trickling in, so we have no tomato number for you, unfortunately. So we are blazing a trail today at What the Flick with our early review. Yes, so check it out. You do not have to be high beforehand to enjoy it.
No, by all means, no.
Bye. Take care.